All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So, in this one, I wanted to kind of tackle this idea surrounding Jalen Milroe and the New York Jets. Now, there's still, I want to say, maybe a belief or buzz out there that the Jets are still going to be drafting a quarterback in this upcoming class. Personally, look, I don't want to sound like a broken record here, waste anybody's time, but just to kind of quickly recap, my personal outlook post free agency, post addition of Justin Fields. I don't think a quarterback in the first 3 rounds is maybe the smartest play. First, because Justin Fields is still a young quarterback that I feel like has a lot of potential, 25, 26 years old. I really want to see what he can do in this offense and maybe, see what he can or how he grows as a quarterback first before moving on or, drafting his replacement. And then secondly, the Jets do have a lot of team needs. D tackle, right tackle, tight, the list goes on, right? Wide receiver, all these different team, strong safety. Those 3 picks in the first rounds, 7, 42, and 73, those are 3 starters in my opinion, right? So I'm more so in the camp of, hey, if we want to take a quarterback, that's cool. But personally, I would like to see it on day 3, rounds 4, 5, 6, or 7, because they won't have like the pressure to start right away. They won't have like the media on their backs. I mean, could you imagine if the Jets draft Jackson Dart at spot number 7 or even 42? I don't think he's going to be there at 42, but just hypothetically, right? They take Tyler Shuck or whoever. In round 2, like there's going to be media, like a focus around this developmental quarterback, right? Fields has a rocky game. Well, is he ready to play? Is the backup, how's his development? Is he looking better than Fields? Is there going to be a situation where they're splitting first team reps? I just feel like it's just a weird situation. And again, you're essentially swapping out a starter, but we'll just say good young player, good young college prospect, first, second, or third round out. You're swapping that player out for a developmental quarterback. I think at this point in time, the Jets need to round out their roster. If we sign Flacco, Winston, right, who just signed with the Giants, Wentz, take your pick, Brissett, Mariota, okay, I'm still in play for a quarterback. But with Fields at 25, 26 years old, I think I'm okay early on. But again, it seems like whether it's Jets beat reporters or even Todd McShay, I mean, he was kind of talking a little bit about it. It sounds like the Jets are still interested in taking a developmental quarterback. And Jalen Milroe is an interesting option because you're looking at Milroe as a prospect coming out. He has some really, really likable traits. He has some things that are definite weaknesses to his game, some things that he's got to work on. He's coming in at 6'2", 217. I would say easily he's the most athletic quarterback in this class. He's the best runner in this class. He has a good arm. He's tough. He's willing to take hits. He's willing to just look down the gun barrel and just take a humongous hit while just, delivering a sweet pass. He has a great deep ball, pretty quick release. He's good throwing against zone coverage, right? I think Jalen Milroe, he is, like a lot of these guys, an intriguing developmental quarterback prospect. I don't think you should play year 1. I think year 2, probably year 3 is around the time that you would see a Jalen Milroe, potentially be given the reins to start, if at all. One thing that I personally love about Jalen Milroe is he plays at Alabama, right? SEC. He's going up against, the top of the top, the LSU. I mean, when you're just talking about what kind of caliber athlete he's playing with and against, LSU, Texas A&M, Florida, Georgia, all these just stacked SEC teams, again, with just 5-star elite prospects, future NFLers all over the place. Jalen Milroe looks like the most explosive player out there at the quarterback position. Like, he's outrunning DBs, he's outrunning linebackers, he can truck people over. Like, his running skills are freaking remarkable. Like, it's seriously looks like he's built like a running back. It's insane. And like we were saying, he does have some weaknesses. I think one thing that just stands out when you watch Jalen Milroe is you kind of get like a mechanical sense with him. It doesn't just look like a free flowing natural movement, right? When he's dropping back, it kind of looks, again, a little like robotic. Which it is what it is, and over time it will, the more he works on that, the more fluid it'll look. But, that is something to make a note of. I think one thing that's kind of irritating, and I think a lot of Crimson Tide fans would agree with this, but he would throw the football way too hard at guys underneath, like, crossing patterns and screens and stuff. Like, he's whipping the ball, and like they're just erratic passes. Like, so you're kind of asking that question. Okay, does he? Because we see young quarterbacks have this issue all the time coming out of college, right? The guys with really strong arms, Zach Wilson had this problem. And then there were moments where, like, you could tell Zach was trying to, like, take speed, take velocity off the football, and it would not even get to the target. And the target was, like, 5 to 10 yards away from him, and it would, like, bounce on the turf. Anthony Richardson has this problem as well. There'll be, like an in-breaking route or something close to the line of scrimmage, and he just whips it at the wide receiver, and it bounces right off their hands, or they're like right as they're turning around, it's like hitting it, the ball's like jumping on them. So that's kind of an issue as well. But again, you think over time, just with every single practice rep, every single preseason, sort of action, joint practice, and it's just him actually having practices with his NFL team, that will be ironed out over time, just as he learns, as the game starts to slow down for him a little bit. Sometimes he leaves the pocket too early, like will bail out of clean pockets. Jalen Milroe is not the perfect prospect here, but why, of course, this is, relevant with the Jets. Why aren't we talking about Tyler Shuck? Why aren't we talking about, take your pick, Quinn Ewers? Why Milroe? Why this random video on Milroe? Well, I think the two big keys. Number one, we had the link. I think it was Rich Samiti who was first to report it, but Charles London put Jalen Milroe on, or had Milroe perform a private workout with him at the NFL Combine, which is just kind of unique, right? Because what Samiti didn't say, London worked with McCord and Ewers and Brady Cook and Milroe. No, it was just Milroe. Okay, so, you kind of take that and you stash it away. Oh, kind of interesting. And then you're looking at, of course, Justin Fields, right? Who was ultimately signed by the Jets after the Combine, a couple weeks later, on day one of legal tampering period. And you got to imagine, okay, this is someone that the Jets want based off the contract, also based off of the timing of the addition. And you're not signing Justin Fields to then turn around and build a system where Justin Fields is not going to be running the football. Justin Fields is one of the best runners, as we all know, with the football in his hands at the quarterback position. And again, that's Jalen Milroe's number one skill set. So if you're thinking, okay, Aaron Glenn, Tanner Engstrand, these guys are going to be here for a long, long time. This system is going to be suited for a running quarterback. This system is going to be something that both Justin Fields and Jalen Milroe will be able to, grow and develop in. It starts to make a little bit more sense, right? You're just trying to connect the dots. Then you throw on top of it Jalen Milroe's development plan. Again, when were we talking about potentially giving Milroe the reins? 2-3 years from now? When does Justin Fields' contract end? 2 years from now? Could there maybe be something there? I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too much into it, going too far down the rabbit hole here. And then last but not least, you look at the Alabama Pro Day. Jalen Milroe absolutely dominated. Like, he had a fantastic, fantastic Pro Day. And it just kind of feels like, hey, there's a little buzz here, right? Jalen Milroe, New York Jets, the offensive system fit. He could back up Justin Fields. There's not the immediate pressure to start. Now, again, kind of going back to the start of the video here, if the Jets select Jalen Milroe in round 2, I gotta be honest, right? I'm not gonna hate the pick, but I think that could be a starter. Is TJ Sanders there from South Carolina a plug and play D tackle? Do the Jets want to target O-line? Do the Jets want to target tight end with that round 2 selection? Right, you can get a very good player at 42 in this year's class. For me, I think it might be a little too high. I'm still opting for day 3. I want to say my favorite developmental quarterback prospect in this draft is Kyle McCord. But just with the addition of Justin Fields, where McCord is at, I would still like that draft pick for sure. But again, I think those round 2 and round 3 selections have got to be positions of need, at least in my opinion. Not to back myself into, this unnecessary draft corner a month before the NFL draft starts. Like, oh, we must draft a position of need. No, of course we have to see how the board plays out, but that's kind of where my mind is going a month out, right? Round 2, round 3, those are starters here on this Jets team. It's not like we're the Eagles or the Chiefs or the Bills or the, take your pick on any good team, the Detroit Lions, where you're looking at one team need, or in some cases 0 team needs, and you could just go BPA, whatever player we like the most. Jets aren't in that position, unfortunately. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on Jalen Milroe down below in the comment section. Some people are really high, some people are really low. It kind of feels like a hit or miss, boom or bust style of prospect, not one of these high floor types of guys. But anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks so much, and as always, go Jets.